All right, so the last section of my leadership philosophy, and a little bit encompassing all the things I've mentioned, including the way I lead, including my principles, including my values, how I make decisions, how I build culture. How does it all come together, right? I have probably over, I don't even know anymore, just so many years of adaptability, moving to different countries, working with different people from different cultures. It just opens your eyes to new worlds. And it makes you humble, really, at the end of the day, right? Just even how I grew up, moving to the US, having a family who values hard work, showing up as your best integral self, those things have all shaped who I am today, right? And just I'm proud of being a person that can adapt. But adaptation doesn't mean people can walk all over me. No, adaptation means I have so many tools under my toolbox that help me not only guide who I am in my work, but help me guide others, especially through transition, right? So my ability to adapt combined with experience across multiple sectors, including government, health policy, community based equity initiatives, and cross agency collaboration, really allows me to see patterns, risks, opportunities that sometimes others overlook. I connect dots, I see systems, I translate complexity into clarity, and anticipate. I am such an anticipator of what could potentially happen before it even happens, right? This perspective allows me to navigate ambiguity with confidence, and it helps me guide teams through change. And most importantly, how do I do that? Well, I do that with foresight, with confidence, with empathy, right? The last thing right now our people need The last thing they need are leaders who don't care or who only care about themselves, right? They need a leader who is showing up in their complete selves, in their form, in who they are, strengths and weaknesses, right? Because we all have those. None of us is perfect. But how do we show up in a way that we are honoring who we are, right? But we are holding people accountable. Like if something is not okay, we can say, this is not okay. Do we feel psychologically safe to say that, right? Do we feel psychologically safe to say, you know what? This isn't working. This is not working for me. And how do we as leaders create those environments where people know that they can do that, where they know they can trust us, they know that they can share what it is that is troubling them, and we are going to do our best, right? I'd rather hear from a leader that says, you know what? This is where I'm at. And it's not maybe where people thought it would be or how it would look, but here it is. And how do we contribute? How do we help it grow? Whatever mission it is that we're doing, right? How do we move it forward? But do it in a way that people are going to trust you, right? I just want to conclude with that saying, right? I think it really embodies who I am as a leader and my philosophy. A couple things I will share with that. Always leaving things better than they were. Things, relationships, right? Leave them better, whatever that better is for you. The second one, treat people how you want to be treated, right? I'm a believer of that. It costs nothing to be kind. We might be having to make the most difficult decisions, and that doesn't mean that you have to be mean. Still be kind, right? And the final one is that we are evolving. And I don't think there's any more instances of that prove for me over the last couple of years how much I have evolved. I think a couple years ago, I would have never been able to say, one of my key values is competence. Nowhere in sight. But after years of showing up, working hard, going out of my way to get educated outside of work, that takes time. That is not born overnight. So that's why that need of valuing competence came to mind, right? What are other instances? There's so many, right? At the end of the day, you are creating that person, right? You are creating who you are becoming. It's a it's a process, and it doesn't mean that you're always going to be there, right? A couple years from now, those things are probably going to shift, right? But I think what really stands out is that clarity, the clarity and confidence in who you are and what you bring. Because if you don't have the clarity, imagine how the world is going to see you, right? And at the end of the day, they can see you however they see you, but you having that clarity is going to help you show up every day. So that's just a little bit about my leadership philosophy that I've been crafting and just wanting to share as I move into different paths in my life.